A Sound Story About Audrey and Brad, Part 1. One Saturday morning, Audrey and Brad sat in the den, watching the pendulum swing back and forth on the clock on the wall. T, 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 t. They were bored. We see a picture of a clock, which shows us the T sound, and we see capital and lowercase t. Each of those letters represent the T sound in words, just like the sound for the sound picture. Point to the picture in each letter and let's say the sounds together. T, t, t. "Hey, Mom," said Brad, "can we walk down to the park?" "Yes," said Mom, "but we must be back in time for your violin lessons." Soon, Audrey and Brad were swinging as high as they could at the park. They could hear the loud sound of the chains screeching as they went back and forth. Eh, 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 eh. This picture shows the I sound. Capital I and lowercase I show us that sound in words. Let's say the sounds for each. I, I, I. Then they jumped down and ran around the park playing chase. Before long, they were out of breath. Brad could hear himself breathing hard. This picture shows the sound, and capital H and lowercase h show the same sound in words. Let's say the sound for the picture in each letter. They all walked home, and Mom drove them to their violin lessons. Mrs. Russ was pleased to see them. "Did you practice every day?" she said. "I did," said Audrey quickly. Brad replied that he had practiced too. This picture shows Audrey saying I. And the capital I and lowercase I letters show the same sound in words. Notice that we already did the letter I, but it said I, and it was a lighter color purple. This I is a darker color and it has lines above it. This shows us the second sound for I, which is called the long I sound, and the sound is I. Let's say the sound for the picture in both letters. I, I, I. Soon they were playing music. Each violin made a beautiful sound as they pulled their bows across the strings. The sound was ul, 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 ul. The violin shows us the ul sound. Capital L and lowercase l show the same sound. Point to each one as we say the sounds. Ul, ul, ul. Just as they arrived home from their music lesson, they heard the sound of the engine on a big delivery truck. It pulled into their driveway, and the delivery man handed Mom a package. Audrey and Brad were pleased to see that new books had arrived from their book club. The truck engine shows the sound, and the capital N and lowercase n show the same sound in words. Point to each one as we say the sounds. As they went into the house, they could see dark clouds gathering overhead. Soon, lightning was flashing, and rain was pouring down. The wind blew hard enough to make the branches on the trees sway back and forth. Audrey and Brad could hear the sound of the wind forcing its way into the house around the front door. Whoa. This picture shows the sound of the wind. Whoa. Capital W and lowercase w show the same sound. Let's say the sound for the picture and the letters. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good job. Well, said Mom, the weather is so bad. This is the perfect time to go over your math facts. It was Brad's turn to go first. Was all he could say as he looked at the flashcards. He had not been practicing his math facts. When Audrey had her turn, she got every one right. This picture shows Brad saying the sound. The letter capital U and lowercase u say the same sound. Let's say all three sounds while we point. They ate lunch, and then Audrey and Brad and Dad got into the car to go to basketball practice. The wind had stopped blowing, but it was still drizzling. At the gym, all the kids on the team warmed up by dribbling a basketball. Was the sound of the balls bouncing on the hardwood floor. Then they practiced passing and shooting. This picture shows Brad bouncing the ball, and the sound is B. The letters capital B and lowercase b show the same sound in words. Let's say the sound of the picture and the letters while we point. B, B, B. After basketball practice, they went home. Soon, Mom called Audrey and Brad to dinner. They said when they saw their plates. They were having scrambled eggs, ham, and muffins. It looked delicious. This picture shows the sound. And the letters capital M and lowercase m show the same sound. Let's point to each one and say the sound. Just as they sat down to eat, they heard a loud coming from the backyard. They ran to look out the back door. Chewy had cornered a neighborhood cat in the yard. She was growling at the cat. This picture shows Chewy growling, and the sound is The letters capital R and lowercase r show the same sound. Let's say the sound for the picture and the letters. The cat had no intention of putting up with Chewy. She reached out and scratched Chewy right on the nose. Chewy cried out in pain as the cat quickly jumped over the fence and ran away. This picture shows the F sound. The letters capital F and lowercase f show the same sound in words. F, f. Let's say the sounds for the picture and the letters. F, f, f. Poor Chewy, said Brad. She'll know to leave cats alone next time. He reached into the refrigerator and pulled out a soft drink. Psst was the sound of the air rushing out as he pulled the tab off the can. This picture shows the ks sound, and the letters capital X and lowercase x show the same sounds in words. Ks, ks. Let's point to the picture and each letter as we say the sounds together. Ks, ks, ks. Good job. After dinner, the whole family watched a movie together. It was pretty good. One character was a man who couldn't hear very well. He kept saying, "Eh?" whenever someone spoke to him. He couldn't understand a word they were saying. "That man should get hearing aids," said Mom. "He could hear much better with them." This picture shows the eh sound, and the letters capital and lowercase e also show that sound in words. Let's say the sound for the picture and for the letters. Eh, eh, eh. The following Monday morning, Audrey and Brad took the bus to school. As Audrey slipped into her desk, she saw that a classmate had brought a snake to school in a cage. They talked about the snake during science class. It slithered around in its cage, flicking its tongue in and out with a soft s sound. The picture of the snake shows us the s sound, and the capital and lowercase s are the letters that show that sound in words. S. Let's point to the picture and the letters and say the sound. S, s, s. Audrey worked hard all morning. After lunch, her class went outside for recess. She enjoyed jumping rope with her friends. The rope made a j, j, j sound as it slapped the concrete. This picture shows the j sound, and the letters capital and lowercase j show the same sound in words, j. Let's point to the picture and each letter while we say the sounds. J, j, j. After recess, Audrey realized that her throat was hurting. It had been sore all day, but now it was worse. Her teacher sent her to the office to see the school nurse. Audrey opened her mouth wide and said, "Ah," while the nurse examined her throat. Then the nurse took her temperature. "You don't have a fever," said the nurse. "It will be all right for you to go back to class." This is a picture of Audrey saying, "Ah," for the nurse so that she could check her throat. The letters capital and lowercase o show ah in words. Let's point to the picture in each letter and say the sound. Ah, ah, ah. Back in the classroom, Audrey picked up her pencil to begin her afternoon assignment. K. The lead broke on her pencil as soon as it touched the paper. She reached into her desk to get out another sharpened pencil. It was a good thing she had an extra one. This picture shows us the k sound. The letters capital and lowercase c show us the same sound in words. K. Let's point to the picture in each letter and say the sound. K, k, k. At 2 o'clock, Audrey heard a knock at the door. D, d, d. It was her father, Dr. Davis, coming to help students work on the computers in the back of the room. It wasn't Audrey's turn to work on the computers today, so she smiled at her dad and then continued working on her assignment. This picture shows the D sound of Dr. Davis knocking on the door. The letters are capital and lowercase d, and the sound for these letters in words is D. Let's point to the picture in each letter as we say the sound. D, D, D. At the end of the day, Audrey and Brad met their bus group in the hall. Their bus teacher waited for their group to be called. As they stepped outside, they could barely see their bus in the distance, already on its way. "Ah!" screamed Audrey and Brad. All the children were upset. "It's okay," said the teacher. "We'll call your parents to come pick you up." This picture shows the "ah" sound, and the letter capital A and lowercase a represent the "ah" sound in words. Let's point to the picture in each letter while we say the sound. Ah, ah, ah. Good job. The children waited in the office for their parents. They could hear the sound of the vacuum cleaner as Mrs. Taylor vacuumed the rug. The picture of the vacuum cleaner shows us the sound, and the letters capital and lowercase v show us the sound in words. Let's point to the picture and the letters while we say the sound. Brad was thirsty, so he asked for permission to go to the hall to get a drink of water. He went straight to the water fountain. He turned the handle and leaned over to swallow the gushing water. G, 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 went the water as it streamed out of the faucet. G, 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 went his throat as he guzzled the water. The picture shows the G sound, and capital and lowercase g also show the G sound in words. Let's say the sound for the picture and the letters. G, G, G. When Mom arrived at school, she took them straight to the doctor's office to get Audrey's throat checked. She wanted to be sure it wasn't strep throat. As they waited in the waiting room, they watched the fish swim back and forth in the large aquarium. They could hear the sound of the air pump pushing air into the water. This picture shows the sound, and the letters capital and lowercase p show the p sound in words. Let's say the sounds together. P, p, p. Audrey looked up when she heard the k, k, k sound of the receptionist's heels stepping across the tile floor. "I need to ask you a question about your insurance," said Mrs. Kendrick to Audrey's mother. "Certainly," said her mother as she stepped to the office counter. This picture shows the k sound, and the letters capital K and lowercase k show the k sound in words. Let's say the sound for the picture and each letter. K, k, k. When Audrey's exam was finished, the doctor said that she didn't have strep throat after all. Mom was relieved. As Audrey, Brad, and Mom returned to their car, Brad accidentally stepped on a piece of yucky bubble gum. "Eee," he said. He tried to scrape it off on the edge of the sidewalk. This picture shows the "yee" sound, and the capital Y and lowercase y are the letters that show that sound in words. Let's say the sounds together. Yee, yee, yee. Mom took the kids to the park on the way home. They sat at a picnic table and had a snack that she had packed. It was a pretty day. They could hear a mourning dove cooing in the distance. Coo, coo, coo. This sound picture shows the coo sound. And capital Q and lowercase q show this same sound in words. Notice that the letter U follows the capital and lowercase q's. The letter U does not say its regular sound when it follows the Q. Let's point to the picture and each letter and pronounce this sound. Cool, cool, cool. Suddenly they heard a loud buzzing sound. Zzz. They turned to see an enormous swarm of bees moving through the air. It landed in a pine tree near their picnic table. Other bees flew around in the air nearby. "Let's go home," they all yelled in unison, and that is exactly what they did. This picture shows the swarm of bees in the tree. The sound is zzz. Capital Z and lowercase z represent that sound in words. Zzz. Let's point to the picture and each letter while we say the sound. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Great job.